Welcome to the Steve Reads His Post podcast. For those of you who are too busy or too lazy to actually read my post, I've taken on the huge effort of reading them to you. Enjoy.
Can Microsoft ever catch Salesforce? I was reading the Salesforce Economic Impact White Paper by IDC, sponsored by Salesforce. It struck me that much of the potential economic and social gains outlined in that report were taken from another IDC report about Gen AI implementation market outlook in general. It is not unfair to take these general statistics and filter them to be specific for Salesforce, but they could also be filtered for any other cloud CRM provider. I understand, it's marketing. Another thing that struck me is the eventual convergence of all Gen AI efforts into extremely similar manifestations provided by all cloud CRM providers. When you think about it, with only slight differences in appearance, all of these solutions from Salesforce, Microsoft, and other significant players do essentially the same thing and have for over a decade. When one discovers a new need and launches a new feature, the others will follow suit quickly. This consistent copying from each other maintains the equilibrium and similarity in all the products. Gen AI will follow the same path, and quickly, all Gen AI capabilities will be more or less matched across provider platforms. Having a lead in anything simply informs your competition, and it evaporates quickly. So why is Salesforce the dominant market leader? Is their product better? I feel the product is basically the same as any other significant cloud CRM solution today. What is better and has been better since day one is Salesforce's marketing and sales of their platform. Microsoft, for example, is an engineering organization led by an engineer. Salesforce is a sales organization led by a master seller. You have to give Mark Benioff credit. He created the cloud CRM market back in 1999 with the launch of the cloud-only Salesforce.com. 4 years later, in 2003, Microsoft launched Dynamics CRM, an on-premise product, clearly under the impression that this cloud thing was a fad. Salesforce devoured the market, and Microsoft did not concede that the cloud was real for CRM until 2008 when they launched Dynamics CRM Online. By then, Salesforce owned the market, generating $560 million in 2008, and they had all of the brand affinity due to a decade's head start in cloud CRM. They still have a 24% market share in 2022, and I estimate they generate at least 6 times the revenue of Dynamics non-ERP products. Will Microsoft's Dynamics Copilot strategy close the gap? I would say no. Salesforce has a similar strategy, and these will all converge soon anyway. The Gen AI advantage goes to neither. Is there a silver bullet to close the gap? Well, Salesforce had a decade head start in a race of unknown length. To overtake someone with a decade head start, they would literally have to stop and wait for you. Salesforce will not do that, so overtaking is probably not a realistic thought. What, if anything, can Microsoft do to affect the trajectory? We first have to look at what they've tried. Lower pricing, the key to Walmart's success, does not seem to have made much of a dent in Salesforce's high-affinity user base. Of course, none of the enterprise customers coveted by both are paying anything close to retail. I assume there's a lot of price matching going on, neutralizing that aspect. Instead, you have to look at what Salesforce does better. It's not the product, they're both basically the same. So what is it? Salesforce has always done 2 primary things better than Microsoft and still does them better today: sales and marketing. Salesforce's marketing is purpose-built to create brand affinity. On the sales front, Salesforce simply outsells Microsoft in their vast partner network, consistently. This can be partly attributable to the brand affinity created by their superior marketing efforts, but it mostly boils down to better sellers. A good seller can outsell a bad seller even if he has an inferior product. If the products are essentially the same, the bad seller does not stand a chance. Microsoft's best opportunity to grow will continue to be the smaller-than-enterprise customer, where price matching is not as interesting to Salesforce.